I'm Justin.
I'm Isaac.
And I'm Tommy. And as you can see, we are at yet another haunted location just ready to be investigated. However, this video is not going to be like all the other bangers we've made. Today, we are going to teach you how to properly investigate paranormal activity.
So you guys can stay safe and enjoy this hobby.
We promise. We are professionals and we know what we're doing. We're here to show you step by step how to investigate ghosts just like us.
So sit back, take out your notebook, and be ready to become a junior ghost investigator.
A few warnings to get out of the way before we start. Firstly, do not ever do this alone. This hobby, or job in our case, can be extremely dangerous if not done properly, so please have a group of people along with you. You will either find proof that the spiritual realm actually exists, or you'll just be having a good time. Either way, you need to have a group of people along with you to ensure maximum safety against all ghosts and anyone else living on the property. Above all else, please make sure to have a group of 5 or 6 people with you at least. What is this?
Touch? The next thing our team wants to embed into your tiny brains is that these spirits were once people too, so don't go in without a plan. You have to respect all the things existing there, or you could have a demonic entity attached to your back, and you don't want that, trust me.
Along with respecting the spirits, you also need to respect the location. Imagine if 3 guys walked into your house and smashed all your plates. You'd be pretty pissed. So would the spirits. Just make sure you leave the place as neat as you found it.
Now with all that important stuff out of the way, let's move on to the pre-investigation steps.
Before you begin investigating, the first step is to make sure you have all the right tools. These tools can help you in various ways, communicating with the spirits and getting you the most evidence possible.
This right here is called a spirit box. It changes through all the local radio stations and allows the spirits to communicate by pushing out. It most often occurs when you ask them a question, they'll answer through this.
Another important tool in the investigator's toolkit is what's called an electromagnetic field radiation detector, or EMF reader for short. This device is used to detect high levels of radiation and electricity in a 2-foot radius. Spirits can use both of these sources of energy to make noises, move objects, or even create voices.
Speaking of voices, a voice recorder is very useful. We used this one made in the mid-1900s in China because people had reported hearing voices coming from them when they didn't hear voices when recording.
Now on to the next step, research.
Choosing a location might be tricky. There are many levels to hauntings, so you must be aware of these levels. When going after this hobby for the first time, you don't have to go to the Stanley Hotel, Queen Mary Ship, or the Conjuring House. Try picking a location that is not only somewhat uninhabited by spirits, but it could be a place that is near your house.
You'd be surprised how many buildings, houses, and locations close to you are haunted.
In this video, we'll be investigating the ruins of Madame Cherie's Castle in Chesterfield, New Hampshire.
One thing that could always be tricky is private property. You don't want your mom getting a call at 1 in the morning saying that your son got arrested breaking into a building while hunting for ghosts.
So proper phone calls and research can help make your investigation much more legal.
Renting the property might be tricky for you guys at home, but this is our job, our source of income, so for us it's logical. Now you don't need to buy the house that you're going to investigate, just make sure you get permission first.
So you can meet wonderful people like the present owner of the Madame Cherie ruins, Miss Miller.
People such as Miss Miller, who live and work on your location, can give you information regarding your investigation.
Thank you for joining us, Miss Miller, and thank you for allowing us to stay the night.
No worries at all. I get many calls like this. You should hear my voicemail.
Would you mind explaining to us about anything that has happened here? Any encounters that you might have had while owning the property?
Of course. Firstly, Madame Cherie is not her real name. Her name is Antoinette Vermeer. She was a seamstress, but secretly acted under a fake name of Antoinette de Lillis. She meets a man who is running from the Paris government named Anthony Macaluso, using a fake name of Andre Ryla. Antoinette and Anthony decide to get married in 1911 and start a millinery in New York City. To get accepted by the United States government, this is when they change their names to Anthony and Antoinette Cherie. Unfortunately, Anthony passed away on October 19, 1924, after being diagnosed clinically insane and put in an asylum a few months earlier. Antoinette decides to leave her old life and live with one theater friend named Jack Henderson, who helps her by paying her to build a home. She lands in Chesterfield, New Hampshire, the same town Jack lives in. Jack also used to throw parties and invite many famous people. Antoinette adopts this lifestyle and throws parties in this newly built castle for the next 30 years. Jack stops giving her money to pay for her bills and is forced to leave the castle in the woods. It burned down on October 20th, 1962, one day after the 38th anniversary of Anthony's death. Even more weird, she died on October 20th, 1965.
After that interesting yet thrilling backstory, make sure you guys do your own research. Not only will you further your interest, but you'll also find out some cool things that the owner might not have told you.
Like the hauntings themselves. So let's do our own lecture about this place.
Miss Miller was telling us that Antoinette used this as her party house and lived in another house across the street.
Which we will definitely be investigating later on.
Along with hearing voices and laughter, people often record hearing music, kind of like a party.
Apparently the people that were invited to these parties might have gotten trapped as spirits because of the amount of parties that Antoinette would throw.
Speaking of trapped spirits, apparently people would see Antoinette at the top of the staircase in the middle of the night.
So we have to make a point to investigate there very soon. Now, finally, we have about 30 minutes until the investigation fully begins. Miss Miller has left, and now we have the entire woods and ruins of the castle to ourselves.
We're so close I can almost taste it, but there's still one more thing we need to do, and that is establish a home base.
We've set up cameras all around the location, and a team member of ours is in the parking lot monitoring us for our safety.
So now that you have all of your equipment set up and ready to go,
You've done your research, got permission, and established a home base. Now you can begin.
And without further ado, let's go.